my wife, I don't know you. So stop looking at me like you wanna. Girl, it's embarrassing hard, cause we get catch, cause we get catch. You embarrassing hard, you cause we get bad, cause we get, you cause we get embarrassing hard, you cause we get catch, cause we get catch. You embarrassing hard, you cause we get bad, cause we get catch so bad. Oh, I don't believe that. Hey, you don't start that rock as I fight my wife in the yard. Hey, so biggity bad. I don't believe that. Hey, you don't start that rock as I fight my wife in the yard. Hey, now my wife says she leaving me.
I'm telling this.
Baby, we going?
I like that. You said that.
Baby, man, no man move like that, man. Baby, the woman hat me down.
No. I said I got it.
Baby, oh, baby, I'll get you. Baby, please, let me get you. Baby, I was fixed. Oh, I was fixed. Take me to church. 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 I was fixed. Oh, she had my socks in good, very deep in the room. Underneath some prickles, sex. I did not know what to do. When the witch doctor me the truth, this woman had me lined up to divorce you. Hey, I was fixed. Take me to church. 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 She gonna tell the pastor on me. He blocked my eye and he laid hands on me. Now I in church playing Christian, but Sister Mary just tell me she wants some. I was fixed. Take me to church. 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 She had me locked up in the vest. I was fixed. She had my sauce in grits, very deep in the groove, underneath prickle sticks. What man you know? You was a sweetheart. You must be a catch.
Tonight, the voting process begins in Golden Isles. We've got the latest on this. Also, business owners picking up the pieces following a fire at Arawak Key. And later, officials addressing alleged looting of a barge that ran aground in Abaco last week. Eyewitness News starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Janae Noel. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news tonight, polls for early voting in the Golden Isles constituency are officially closed. Those polls closing at 6 o'clock this evening as the voting process began for the by-election. You're looking at some live video coming into our newsroom as those ballots prepare to head back to the parliamentary registration department. It was an eventful advance poll day filled with music, nostalgic chants, and corner-to-corner support for 4 candidates vying for the Golden Isle seat. Laurencia Smith was there as it all unfolded. She joins me live tonight from where it all went down. Laurencia?
That's right, today I'm here outside of the Remlin Tabernacle of Praise, the site of the advance poll. And if you look behind me, supporters from both, all of the political divides have broken through the barricades as they are waiting for that caravan that will be obtaining the ballot boxes from this advance poll. Now, I can tell you supporters are out here. I've been out here from the polls open before 8 o'clock this morning, and an hour later, I am still here as many are waiting to see that caravan obtaining those ballot boxes to leave this site. Now, today was the site of the advance poll for the upcoming by-election here in the Golden Isles constituency. And according to officials, some 280 283 persons registered to vote. Now today, the voters said that the process was smooth. However, there were some concerns raised by both the Progressive Liberal Party and the Coalition of Independents. Let's take a look. That's the candidate for the Progressive Liberal Party, Darren Pickstock, and the Coalition of Independents leader, Lincoln Bain, calling out the police for allowing loud campaign music to be blasted by the Free National Movement camp just across the street from the Remnant Tabernacle Church, the site of the advance poll for the Golden Isles upcoming by-election set for November 24th. Both men argued that the loud music disrupts the voting process, accusing authorities of failing to enforce election laws, claiming that the FNM was in clear violation.
Man, we just want to do things in decency and in order.
Unacceptable.
Eyewitness News reached out to the parliamentary department, who confirmed that by law, campaigners must remain at least 300 feet away from the polling station. However, they added that a meeting was held prior to the polls, where an agreement was reached to allow music due to the close proximity of the site. When the media spoke with the FNM leader Michael Pintard, he appeared unfazed by the PLP and the COI's concerns, dismissing it as a sideshow.
And we always follow law. We're not like the PLP. We're not like the lawless crew of the PLP. We're focused on Brian Brown.
While all of that was taking place, supporters from all sides traded jeers and shouted outside the polling station. Inside the polling site, the atmosphere was notably different according to voters. According to officials, around 283 people registered to vote early. We spoke with several voters shortly after they dipped their finger, and many of them senior citizens and others traveling ahead of the by-election set for November 24th, who shared their thoughts on the process.
About half an hour. I was very bad.
I was about the 7th person, and the staff is so good.
The single-seat by-election was triggered by the death of Member of Parliament Vaughn Miller, who passed away in September. It's a four-way race between Pickstock for the PLP, Brian Brown for the FNM, Brian Roll for the COI, and independent candidate Karen Butler.
I am excited for the opportunity to represent the good people of Golden Isles.
No, the people are ready for Mr. Brown, and so I'm excited, and they're excited.
It's a must-win for us, because at the end of the day, if we don't do this now, when it comes to the general election, if we don't take this country back, this country...
They're tired of switching between these parties back and forth. It's time for them to vote in somebody who's independent, who can speak on their behalf without any fear.
Now, Janae, as we mentioned, the by-election is set for November 24th here in the Golden Isles constituency. As we noted, it is a four-way race. And of that four-way race, three of the constituency, Mr. Brown, Mr. Roll, and Ms. Butler, all reside here in the Golden Isles constituency. And from what we understand, Mr. Brown was the only one of the three candidates that reside in this constituency who cast his ballot early. We know that Mr. Roll and Ms. Butler is expected to cast their ballot next week, Monday, which is set for November 24th, which is the by-election. As we mentioned, supporters are still out and they're waiting to see that caravan with the ballot boxes that will be making its way to its final destination, and we understand that is the Parliamentary Commissioner office. So live here from the Remnant Tabernacle of Praise, the site of the advance polls for the upcoming by-election, I'm Laurencia Smith. Back to you at the Destinea.
Thanks so much. A long day for Laurencia. Great coverage from her and the team. On to some other news tonight. Desperate and reckless. That's how government officials are describing claims made by opposition leader Michael Pintard, who at a rally last week charged that a bag of passports was found on a Bahamas air flight. Well, tonight, the Minister of National Security is also taking grave exception to those claims. Our Delano Roker has the latest in this escalating war of words.
Tonight, Minister of National Security Wayne Munro firing back at Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard following accusations and allegations that Bahamian passports were on board a Bahamas Air aircraft bound for a southern destination. A rebuttal supported by the Office of the Prime Minister, which states that all relevant authorities have all confirmed that no such incident occurred, there is no report, there is no investigation, and that no staff member was dismissed. Munro stating, to date, the opposition leader has yet to provide evidence to support those claims.
Airline says no such event happened. If the passport office says no such event happens, If the Royal Bahamas Police Force says no such event was reported to them for investigation, that person who allegedly have sense should have sense enough to retract those comments. The very sad thing about the leader of the opposition who says he wants to be prime minister, if he has this evidence, he has not managed to come forward with it to anybody.
Monroe went further, accusing Pintard of attempting to cling to relevance by manufacturing controversy rather than presenting verifiable facts, outrightly questioning his leadership credibility.
And so if it is phantom, if he was misled, it shows that he is easily misled and not somebody who should be trusted to run a school, much less a country. I put his behavior down to the fact that he is battling to remain relevant and battling to remain the official opposition in this country, because he can't seriously be trying to be government.
Joining the chorus of pushback, leader of the Coalition of Independents, Lincoln Bain, also dismissed the F&M leader's statements.
While we know that passports are being given out erratically, while there were findings like that, but that specific incident never happened. And as the leader of Her Majesty's loyal opposition, I think it was shameful for him to give out information that was false.
But despite mounting criticism, the F&M is not retreating.
We didn't hear the many persons. We heard the office of the Prime Minister offer a denial, and we are asking each of those departments that we mentioned, let all of them come on the record and say they know absolutely nothing about it. That would give us an opportunity over the course of the next few weeks to lay out the case. We have spoken to persons who work at agencies, on several of those agencies. So we are confident that what we have put forth is in fact the case.
Pintard insisting that more evidence is forthcoming and that once revealed, it will expose what he describes as widespread corruption within the system.
Over the next few weeks, we'll be rolling out a whole series of evidence relative to the fact that our system is rife, unfortunately, with corruption under this administration, and it has to end.
For now, the country is left with competing narratives, one side demanding proof and the other promising it. Delano Roker, Eyewitness News.
Well, the Foreign Affairs Minister with responsibility for the Passport Office, Fred Mitchell, also addressing those allegations made by the opposition leader. He's stressing tonight that all efforts are made to protect national documents.
It is important for us not to undermine the security of our documents. There's a lot of information, misinformation, going again in the public domain about these documents. The Chief Passport Officer, who is about to become Ambassador, High Commissioner to India, has superintended the upgrade of the Passport Office, and passports are more secure than they have ever been before. I can say that without question and without doubt. There is no good thing that can come out of any Bahamian, certainly not a public official, undermining the security of our documents. That can only be to have an adverse impact on our country and our ability of our citizens to go from border to border. If we undermine the security of our documents, what is to prevent us when we're going from one border to the next border saying, I read in the news there's something wrong with the Bahamian passport? Why would we want to do that? To undermine the security, safety of our own documents.
On to some other news tonight. A group of individuals facing unrelenting scrutiny as they're being accused of trying to cash in on a crumbling experience. Our Jose Etienne standing by live at Arawak Key tonight, where affected business operators have been left to pick up the pieces. Jose, what's the latest?
Janea, as business owners struggle to come to grips with what happened here at Arawak Key over 24 hours ago, they received yet another sting to yesterday's devastating blaze. Business owners told me that they returned to this site here today to make further assessments, only to see suspected looting.
To see people just capitalizing off tragedy is just, it's not a good thing to see. It's so sad.
Kenya Mitchell, manager of Goldie's Conch House, condemning the individuals responsible for allegedly stealing items from the properties of various businesses that were wiped out by a towering fire yesterday morning. In some cases, all that was left for the 6 establishments were items Mitchell says operators could have used to bounce back.
Started at Muster Point here, which is still structurally, you can still see it, see the building. They went in there, stole a water heater from there, Eddie's, which was totally demolished. They found some cases of bears at the back of his building. They took those. Bottles of liquor they took. Red Snapper's building they took microwaves.
We spoke with Mitchell as she watched heavy equipment operators remove the debris from where her father's business stood tall for nearly 4 decades. And while the massive blaze took out those eateries that stood next to each other along that strip, one particular business, Trudy's Bar and Grill, was spared.
It's true, God, that I'm here. That this place is standing.
Just for you to appreciate how miraculous this is for Miss Johnson, I'm currently standing in what's left of Muster Point, the business that sits right next to Trudy's Bar and Grill. And as you can see behind me, there is total destruction. Nothing left but rubble and ashes. Now, let's hop over and you'll see it's quite a shocker that Trudy's remained untouched despite being just inches away from a raging fire that tore through.
I went upstairs and I looked down and I couldn't believe it was, I mean, literally like maybe 2 feet between my gas tank and the last piece of my neighbor's roof before the fire ended. And that's exactly where it ended.
While she's thankful that her business that's been there since 2016 survived the incident, she says it's a cruel twist of fate for the owners next door.
I call them my brothers. You know, they just got this place up and running, and it's been like almost a year for them to get it going. So they've just been in business like basically maybe a year, going on a year, and they lost everything.
Yesterday's ordeal renews a critical conversation, the need for these businesses to be insured. Owner of Joey's Seafood Restaurant, Dario Williams, says it's a bitter reality they're hoping to challenge with government's help.
The insurance process out here is kind of difficult. You understand? Because they say that the structures are wooden structures and the structures are built close together. Kind of understand that. We're business persons, so we understand that the risks of insuring the buildings like this. But there are businesses out here that worth millions of dollars. You understand? And it has to be some form of action that you could be compensated for something if something was to happen where you was to lose an entire building.
While the road to rebuilding begins, and as the nation's leader, Prime Minister Philip Davis, said yesterday, these business owners won't have to manage this tragedy alone. Janelle?
Thanks so much, our Jose Etienne joining us live from Arawak Key tonight. Well, as you heard, the devastating fire on Arawak Key destroying at least 6 popular businesses, leaving owners reeling from the sudden loss as officials assess the damage and investigate the cause. Many are questioning whether building codes and safety standards for business structures in the area need to be strengthened. Eyewitness News turning to social media, posing the question, do you think building codes on Arawak Key should be updated to better protect businesses from large-scale fires and other disasters? 97% of participants voting yes, absolutely. 1% voting maybe, depending on the findings of this investigation, while 1% voted no, current codes are sufficient. 1% also voting that they were unsure. Meantime, the opposition leader Michael Pintard is tonight expressing sympathy to business owners and workers being affected by that fire. Pintard calling the loss of at least 5 businesses heartbreaking, describing it as a major blow to families who've built them and workers who depend on them. He thanked God that no lives were lost and praised firefighters for their response, despite what he called ongoing resource challenges. Looking ahead, Pintard says rebuilding the cultural landmark will require what he describes as an all-hands-on effort. He's urging government, private partners, and the community to come together to restore the energy and spirit that make the fish fry special, adding that the Free National Movement stands ready to play a meaningful role in that recovery. Meantime, the Bahamas Contractors Association, they're alleging tonight that the lack of proper adherence to the country's building code as it relates to restaurants could have assisted in the severity of that fire on Sunday on Arawak Key. President Leonard Sarnes suggesting that there's been a concern for years about what he called a double standard regarding the building code for restaurants around the capital and those on Arawak Key. Now, when asked whether or not he has pressed the government or in particular the Ministry of Works, under whose remit that issuance falls, Sands had this to say.
In our official capacity, no, we haven't had to. And we shouldn't need to, because it does not come before us as a matter to manage a restaurant having a capacity to seat at least 25 to 50 persons must have a wet suppression fire sprinkler system installed in order to obtain a business license to operate as a restaurant. If you do a study today, go in every single restaurant there. Not one single restaurant meets that legal requirement. What if that fire occurred during a busy Friday afternoon? What would have been the story coming out on a Monday morning, not only locally, but internationally? Why, it's amazing what we allow to happen in that space, but you cannot go into any other quote unquote restaurant and not see a fire suppression system in the ceiling.
Eyewitness News reaching out to Craig Delancey, who has responsibility for the country's building code in the Ministry of Works. Attempts to reach him, however, were unsuccessful. The former site operations manager of Arawak Key, Levon Miller, however, did respond to those assertions by SANS. While noting that it's been the cry of SANS for quite some time, he insisted that the issue was greater than a simple fix that SANS is suggesting tonight, acknowledging that the stalls in question are fully operational restaurants. He suggested that the focus should be on the development surrounding the restaurants to better address mishaps like what occurred on Sunday.
Maybe the government has to take a look at what does it cost to buy those investors out to redevelop the land into something that is or that does resemble what Mr. Sands is envisioning. You follow me? And so again, in my view, I look at Arawak and I consider, why does a tourist attraction on the waterfront not have access to waterside transportation? You know, which in essence would double as an opportunity or a place to fight fire and emergencies. We've got to look at centralizing fuel sources around there. We've got to look at expanding fire extinguishing capacity around there. We've got to look at the inclusion of the waterside resource around there. And again, the fire isn't final. It is simply an opportunity to review, to reimagine, and then to rebuild.
The National Security Minister, Wayne Munro, he's making it clear tonight that taking any item from the grounded barge in Abaco is a crime, and there are no exceptions. This follows last week's incident when the Brooklyn Bridge barge ran aground on a reef and residents were captured on video approaching the vessel and removing cargo. The footage would spread rapidly across social media, sparking a firestorm of debate. Munro says both the actions and the commentary defending them are troubling. He's warning tonight that anyone in possession of those items could face the consequences.
Clearly, if you have a culture where people see a gang of people just thieving, as Bahamians would say, of course that's going to give Abaco a black eye. Abaco has an ability to recover from this because no doubt the control of customs may well pursue the vessels for carrying uncustoms goods and have them seized. And no doubt they can recover and rehabilitate their reputation by returning stolen property. Receiving stolen property is also a crime. And you know, everybody wants to travel to America, eh? And if you get a criminal record, you can't enjoy the national Bahamian pastime of traveling to Miami. And what is more disturbing and discouraging is the number of Bahamians who were coming to the aid of defending it. If you are salvaging goods, that means you get them, you give them to the owner. You do not keep them for yourself. It isn't piracy, but that's the difference between thieving and robbing. Both are dishonest, both are crimes. None are actually behavior that you should be encouraging.
Well, Munro is also providing an update on having that barge removed from the reef.
The Defense Force deployed a rapid response team from New Providence. The safe boat was deployed from Grand Bahama. I'm made to understand, I think it's HMBS Madeira. One of the coastal patrol crafts were deployed. The vessel's anchor that was dropped on the reef was cut. The vessel was floated and has continued on its journey.
Well, it's a major turnaround tonight for the developer behind that proposed Rosewood-branded resort in the Exuma Keys. The Integra Group confirming it will withdraw its original site plan and restart the entire town planning process. The move following weeks of public pushback and growing environmental concerns. Opponents of the project are calling the decision a huge victory for the rule of law, saying it proves community advocacy can make a difference. Environmental group the Turtle Grass Resort and the Save Exuma Alliance, they say the original approval, now void, was under appeal for lack of public consultation and other procedural flaws. They're celebrating what they call a, quote, win for transparency and the environment, adding that any new submission must embrace low-density, eco-friendly development in one of the country's most fragile marine areas. Integra, however, insists its decision is not a retreat, but a proactive move to address concerns and also clarify the details. In a statement, the CEO said the group remains committed to responsible development and peaceful coexistence with neighboring resort. The company says feedback during the environmental review prompted design changes, including relocating its service dock further from Turtle Grass Resort, which triggered the need for a new site plan. Integra has already received its environmental clearance and says the revised submission will give all stakeholders another opportunity to review that project. Well, in news from the crime beat tonight, 3 men are nursing injuries in hospital after a triple shooting in the Kemp Road area. Police say the incident unfolding shortly before 10 p.m. Sunday when Spot Shotter technology alerted officers to gunfire on Apache Alley. When responding officers arrived, they found a 22-year-old man suffering from gunshot wounds. He was taken to hospital by ambulance. Investigators add that 2 other men, ages 35 and 25, were also shot and were transported to the hospital by private vehicle before officers got to the scene. Now, police have not disclosed a motive. They're asking anyone with information to contact them at 911, 919, or 328-TIPS. Well, if you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the Ion News hotline at 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms, Eyewitness News Bahamas at gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comments section. We want to hear from you. We're just getting started in Eyewitness News tonight, but when we come back, the National Security Minister, he's chiming in on the debate of life as it relates to Lawrence Saunders' unborn child. We've got that story coming up, and later, government is quelling mounting concerns on the roles of Marines deployed to Haiti. We've got more on that right after this break.
Hello, bonjour, hola, hello, ciao. No matter where your passport takes you, BTC roaming keeps you effortlessly connected. Enjoy seamless calls, lightning-fast data, and affordable roaming across the globe. No SIM swaps, no stress. Just one network, working everywhere. So go ahead, explore the world, and still be just a call away from home.
Fill up box for all $30.
The new KFC Fill-Up Box, serving 6 juicy pieces of chicken, 4 buttery biscuits, crispy fries to share, and 12 premium original recipe KFC nuggets, all packed into one crave-worthy box. So dig in and do whatever the crunch you want with the KFC Fill-Up Box. Only at KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Are you searching for something new? Something exciting? Your dream job in paradise? Well, look no further. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island is hiring. Join a dynamic group of passionate hospitality professionals, craft unforgettable moments, and thrive in a vibrant, welcoming atmosphere. Play your part in shaping the future of our team while growing your own career every day. Bring your energy, your passion, and your creativity to a workplace that's as dynamic and fun as you are. At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, the opportunities don't just exist, they're limitless. So are you ready to find your perfect fit? Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career today and step into a world of exciting possibilities.
As a healthcare professional, you dedicate your life to caring for others. But even with the best care, legal challenges can arise. Protect your practice and your peace of mind with medical malpractice insurance from Star General. At Star General, we've partnered with Lloyd's of London to bring you comprehensive professional liability insurance designed specifically for those consulting or practicing privately. Visit our website today so you can focus on what you do best, caring for your patients while we take care of the rest. Star General, insurance made simple.
I worked hard every single day, from primary school into secondary school. My name is Darren Pickstock. I started to work at Atlantis as a space cleaner. Nobody could beat me. I took pride in my job. After that, I went to the UK to study law. I'm very proud of my work in the Senate, my advocacy for suicide prevention, my record in empowering young people, and also food security. I'm the chairman of the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation. I believe that it is important for us to feed ourselves. So I see that as a national security issue. The government has done a lot, but the reality is there is a lot more to be done. The cost of living is always increasing, and so to be able to bring down the cost of food will assist people in being able to eat properly. Investing in Bahamians is important, extremely important. It is about opening the door. People just want an opportunity. I am very result-driven, and that is what Golden Isles will see me as.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your Eyewitness News gas tracker at Esso and Shell. You're getting your gas at $5.48 tonight. Rube is coming in with the cheapest at $5.28. Welcome back. You're watching Eyewitness News. Well, the Minister of National Security, Wayne Monroe, warning those mostly grieved by the law regarding unborn children that changes could provide more implications than expected. His comments follow the brutal murder of Lauren Saunders, who was 7 months pregnant. Saunders' body was discovered in bushes off of Munnings Road.
And what is the law at the moment is when you come to be charged, you take into account all of the circumstances. The death penalty is still on the books. If the DPP thought that this was a serious enough matter, this person could be charged with the death penalty aggravated by the fact that that is the allegation. When and if the person is convicted, the fact that that was a part of the offending would be taken into account on sentencing. If we want to engage a debate about whether we should criminalize the termination of the life of a fetus, we must be prepared to engage the debate on when life begins.
Monroe also highlighting tonight how international legal standards differ, and he warns that we need to be careful before making shifts in Bahamian law.
In South America, where they've criminalized it, women are convicted of murder for having abortions. So we have to be ready to engage that full social debate if we wish to change the law as it is now. So when people talk about it, a lot of the women group that talk about it don't mention that in these South American countries where it would be 2 murders, if a woman miscarries, often she is charged with murder. So you have to be careful when you engage changes in the law that you understand the full ramifications. But as it stands today, the behavior can be properly punished by the person being charged with capital murder. And if they're not charged with capital murder, then the judge sentencing will take everything into account if that is proved as a murder.
Well, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, he's shutting down speculation tonight, making it clear that individuals with ties to the gaming industry will not be appointed to cabinet. Cooper was speaking while attending the Gaming Board's industry briefing. He was asked whether persons with active gaming interests could ever serve at a cabinet table. Cooper says the Prime Minister is unwavering in his decision, emphasizing that the boundaries between the gaming sector and cabinet appointments are intentional and will remain in place. He stressed that while many industries have representation in public life, maintaining clear lines around gaming interests, he says, is a deliberate decision designed to protect the integrity of governance.
With digitization, no doubt the information of the gaming houses and casinos may be accessed potentially directly by the gaming board. They may provide virtual remote oversight. Some of that is happening already. I believe there was applause today when the Secretary talked about some of the transformative things that they were doing in terms of reporting and filing of those reports by digital means. This, of course, is important for all industries in the Bahamas. Recently, we launched an initiative for the training of adults, upskill, we call it, more than 40 different courses that may be accessed by Bahamians interested in advancing their skills. It's important that we continue to build capacity, not just in gaming, but all across the various sectors of the economy.
Well, the Bahamas gaming sector hit a major milestone today, as you heard the Deputy Prime Minister indicating, with the launch of the first ever Gaming Board industry briefing, putting cooperation and digital innovation front and center. Stakeholders from across the gaming landscape, including regulators, industry leaders, and professionals, gathered for the inaugural event, aiming to shape the future of one of the country's most rapidly evolving industries. Organizers say the briefing is designed to set a new standard for collaboration, policy development, and strategic planning within the sector. A major focus of today's discussion was digitization. As you heard the Deputy Prime Minister talk about, he told attendees that the world becomes more modern and technology-driven. Digital innovation is no longer optional. Well, Cooper says the briefing marks a crucial step toward modernizing the industry and creating a more efficient and secure gaming environment for operators and consumers alike. Well, Cooper also underscored that the gaming industry continues to be a powerful economic player in our economy. 6 additional Marines from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force were recently deployed to Haiti as a part of the Gang Suppression Task Force. There's been some ongoing controversy over sending our troops to assist in stabilization efforts there. The Minister of National Security, Wayne Monroe, stressing that their role in Haiti is limited despite requests for them to do more. We'll have more news on the other side of this break, but first, a check on tonight's weather forecast.
Mr. Brown is a man. When he said something, he meant it from his heart.
So he's really a great man, a giant of a man. And he's always been reliable, consistent.
He provided jobs for young people and not too young people.
He never left the office. The office been open from in the morning till night. He had summer camps. He did back to school. BJC for the kids.
Easter egg hunt, Mother's Day, prayer breakfast.
Whether you're F&M, PLP, COI, or independent, you came to him and he will always assist you.
If a man can do that outside of the House of Assembly, can you imagine what representation he will bring to the House for Golden Isles?
This time around, we will begin with BBB, Mr. Brian Brown.
Matching pajamas, Junkanoo, decorating contest, or caroling with the crew. However you Christmas, do it your way. With a Christmas loan from Bank of the Bahamas, you get the funds you need to celebrate the way you want. Plus a chance to win one of 3 shopping sprees. Apply today at www.bankbahamas.com or email us at loans@bankbahamas.com. Christmas your way with BOB, your bank of solutions. Terms and conditions apply.
Come visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Everything is here.
Registering for the advanced poll? Listen up. 2 deadlines are looming. Overseas voters must apply by Thursday, October 30th. Special voters have until Thursday, November 6th. Who qualifies? An overseas voter is a Bahamian eligible to vote from abroad, like students studying overseas and certain government personnel posted outside the Bahamas, along with qualifying spouses and immediate family. A special voter is someone who may be unable to vote in person on election day, including those 65 and older, hospitalized or in a care facility, pregnant, or who have recently given birth, traveling or stationed overseas on election day, candidates and their spouses, election workers, and parliamentary registration employees. For the full list of who qualifies and how to apply, click the link in the caption or pause the screen. Don't miss your deadline. Apply for the advanced poll today.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. We do apologize for those technical difficulties earlier, but back to a story we told you about. Additional Marines from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force were recently deployed to Haiti as a part of the Gang Suppression Task Force. There's been some ongoing controversy over sending our troops to assist in stabilization efforts there. The Minister of National Security, Wayne Monroe, stressing that their role in Haiti is limited, despite requests for them to do more.
At this moment for any Bahamian deployed troops to go on patrols with the Haitian National Police. And that is not a risk that we have agreed for them to undertake at this moment. And so they will be carrying out duties at the LSA at the airport. And they keep pushing us to do more, but at this moment, that is the restriction that we place on them. And I've made it clear to them that we expect them to obey those deployment orders, because they all want to go further, because that's their nature and that's their training, but they're restricted to those duties.
In support of the Gang Suppression Force, and they are here with their family, just here to wish them the best. Let them know that we appreciate them. We appreciate their effort, especially the efforts of the family.
As we prepare to
Well, it was a proud moment inside the Bahamas Ballroom today as 68 young men and women marched forward, officially inducted as Cohort 5 of the National Youth Guard after completing months of intensive training. Youth Guard and graduates representing 5 islands from across the archipelago. The program launched to empower young Bahamians with practical skills and a pathway to service has now trained more than 340 recruits. Prime Minister Philip Davis attending that ceremony, applauding the graduates not only for their discipline but for their proven courage, highlighting their contributions during the recent passage of Hurricane Melissa.
Hurricane Melissa threatened our communities. You answered the call. You served in 4 shelters across the province and supported operations at the National Emergency Operations Center. This cohort also marks another first. The first time we welcome cadets from Athens and San Salvador.
Davis went on to express full confidence in the young guard, saying the nation will rely on their commitment as the Bahamas continues to face growing threats ranging from climate change and other national issues.
We know that storms are intensifying, becoming more destructive. We now know that when the next powerful storm comes our way, it is unity, training, and readiness that will make all the difference. Core 5, I have no doubt that you will benefit from the training you have completed for many years to come. You are becoming the leaders your generation will look to, the leaders our country needs in our times, the calm in the storm.
Well, the new Exuma International Airport is steadily progressing. MP for the area, Chester Cooper, touring the site with construction crews recently, also addressing some concerns expressed about the second floor of the structure. As business on Exuma expands, the demand for a new facility and additional space, according to Cooper, is now being met.
Last time I was here a few weeks or months ago, we hadn't seen any signs of a second floor. So it's a good feeling to arrive and see progress. Seeing the second floor go up is truly a signal that we're advancing this beautiful terminal building. One of the things that we're doing here is also expanding the departure lounge. At the time of the design, which was several years ago, it was adequate. Luckily, it was designed for expansion, and we are already making plans to get that expanded departure lounge here. The footings are down, as Brett pointed out, and hopefully that's also going to be completed at the same time. This building is, I believe, almost 50,000 square feet, if I recall, with full arrival, departure, customs, immigration is fully equipped. And I'm excited about what it's going to do for Exuma. The possibility of Exuma truly becoming a hub for the South and Central Bahamas is looking more and more realistic as this airport takes flight.
Well, scores of fitness enthusiasts flocking to the University of the Bahamas over the weekend as they jumped right on into Island Luck's second annual Fitness Vibe. Attendees were off to an early start on Saturday morning as they engaged in several exercises. And while it seemed strenuous, there was also a fun twist. The event is the brainchild of Island Luck CEO, His Excellency Sebastian, who asserts that the end goal is to promote healthy living in the nation.
This is one of my favorite events, and this event started on my own because of my own personal health journey. We were, going through life, chasing success and just getting caught up in the daily things of life. It's important for us to stop and take care of the man in business, man. And I wanted to spread this wellness inspiration throughout the entire company and all our clients, everything, and this. Not just for our clients, but everyone. And we're promoting wellness, health as well. We hear it all the time. We sometimes get caught up in the everyday life, and we just forget to stop and make sure that all this investment we're putting into our personal aspirations, whether it's a business, whether it's a job, your biggest job, your biggest career is to work on self-development and make sure that you're in good health.
Gumby Smith was also a part of FitFest. He joined other local and international fitness gurus who took to the stage, leading the lessons in the various exercises.
Well, adrenaline is hype. It's a day of family, fun, fitness, any age, any fitness level. Everybody's invited. It's a great initiative just to jumpstart your fitness level or to take it to a next level, But I invite everybody to come out because in today's era, health is needed. It's mandatory. It's a must that we get moving. It's a must that we stay active. When the nation is plagued with non-communicable diseases, it couldn't be a better time to host an initiative like this.
Well, breaking news coming into our newsroom at this hour, we understand that drama is unfolding as the early polls closed on Carmichael Road. Our Laurencia Smith standing by live tonight with the latest. Laurencia?
That's right, Janaea. Outside
Outside, it is calm as supporters are waiting for the ballot boxes to leave the site. Now, it's been half an hour since the polls have closed. However, the real tension is just behind the gates with officials, and many are raising concern about the process and how the ballots are being handled. According to them, a number of things that was agreed upon in a meeting prior to the advance poll is not taking place, and they are very concerned. As we noted, the polls have been closed for an hour and a half yet, and those ballot boxes have yet to leave the site. As we noted, that is where all of the tension really lies at this time. Many of them are saying that the promises that are made in which the ballots will be handled is not happening. One of the concerns was how the ballots will be transported alongside, according to officials from the political parties, that the plan was presented to them that they, along with the police officer and one of their agents, would have accompanied those ballot boxes. But now they're suggesting that is not the case at this time. As I noted, outside the crowd is chill, the supporters are chill, but that tension really lies behind these gates. So we will be here standing by as we get the latest update on what is taking place. As we noted, the advance polls have closed at an hour and a half, and those ballot boxes have yet to leave behind the gates. Officers are standing guard, waiting. So at any moment now, those boxes can officially leave. So please stay tuned to Eyewitness News and our social media page for more highlights and details as this situation unfolds, as we wait for those ballot boxes to be transported to the Parliamentary Registration Department. Laurencia Smith from the Remlin Tabernacle.
So to come in Eyewitness News, we have sports on the other side of the break.
Thanksgiving is family, friends, and food. Find the foods you love at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Best Value whole kernel corn, 15 ounces, 99 cents. Rainbow corned beef, 12 ounces, $2.49. Olivia vegetable oil, 48 ounces, $4.99. Danish spare ribs, $2.39 per pound. Yellow onions, 3-pound bag, $3.39. As the season approaches, find your holiday favorites at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Only one item? Are you tired of limited choices? I'll have the one item on the menu, thank you. Wow! So many choices. Why settle for less when you deserve more? When it comes to the ways you pay, the more, the better. With a variety of payment options available, you can enjoy the freedom to choose what works best for you. Choose freedom. Choose flexibility. Choose from the full menu of payment options. The future of pay is digital.
At the Water and Sewage Corporation, safety and convenience are our top priorities. However, our meter readers face challenges that can make their job difficult. Locked gates to guard dogs sometimes leads to missed readings and estimated bills, which can be frustrating for you and us. That's why we're upgrading to digital meters. They bring safety, accuracy, and convenience to homes across the Bahamas. We can streamline data collection, reduce on-site visits, and provide more accurate bills with no more estimates. Digital meters also help detect leaks early, saving you from costly bills and reducing water waste. Soon, a user-friendly app will let you track your water usage, manage bills, and stay informed, all at your fingertips. Over the next year, we're rolling out digital meters nationwide, transforming how we serve you with a safer and cost-efficient water supply. To learn about our digital meters, visit our website or call us today. And don't forget to update your information at any of our locations.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptional service meets the ultimate gaming experience. Our dedicated team is here to make every visit a win.
Now this is paradise.
This is more than just a place to play.
Now this is paradise.
It's where excitement meets world-class service.
Now this is paradise.
Now this is paradise.
Come, experience it for yourself. Now this is paradise.
Eyewitness Sports is brought to you by 103.5 The Beat.
Welcome to another edition of Eyewitness Sports. I'm Laurencia Smith. Thanks for joining us. Kicking things off tonight in sports, we're hitting the hardwood. The Bahamas women's national basketball team has punched its ticket to the 2026 Central Coast Basket Championship after taking home bronze at the 2025 Women's Caribbean Basketball Championship over in Guyana. Team 242 wrapped up the tournament with a 2-2 win-loss record. Despite falling to the undefeated U.S. Virgin Islands in their final matchup, 105-81, the team still delivered a strong performance to secure their spot in the next round of the regional play. Leading the charge were LaShawn Higgs and former collegiate standout Valerie Nesbitt. Higgs was unstoppable, pouring a game high of 37 points on 15 for 28 shooting, along with 5 rebounds and 3 steals. Nesbitt wasn't far behind, adding 32 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. The squad was guided by head coach Donnie Colmer, along with a strong coaching staff featuring Coach Burrows, Coach Delancey, and Coach Swaby. Congratulations to the ladies. Now in its 11th year, the Exuma Half Marathon featuring the Run for Pompeii was held over the weekend. The popular event blends history, culture, and sports, all set against the stunning backdrop of one of the most beautiful islands in the world. The marathon welcomed some 350 runners from around the world. Among the top competitors were Paris Gaines, all the way from New York City, who claimed top prize. This year's event also marked a special moment as Olympic gold medalist and Golden Knight Demetrius Pinder took over as patron, succeeding Pauline Davis, who served in the role for a decade, who's also an Olympian. Pinder was on hand at the finish line, personally placing medals around the necks of the participants.
I wish I'd have knew about this a long time ago. You know what I mean? I heard about Pompeii and everything like that, but it was my first time actually knowing about the race. You see what I'm saying? So, man, it was a great experience. Great experience. I love what they're doing. Everything is non-profit, goes back to the kids of the island. So, man, it's something special that these guys is doing. Jeff and Kevin. You gotta applaud them. You don't meet people like that every day.
Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism Chester Cooper, who also serves as the island's MP, along with co-founder Jeff Todd, weigh in on the impact the marathon has had not just on the island's sports tourism brand, but also the local community.
For tourism, but really it's good for the community. It, unleashes the community spirit. There are a lot of volunteers participating, and of course a lot of sponsors who are chipping in as well.
The most beautiful place in the world in Exuma. So 11 years strong, and we look forward to number 12.
And finally, in sports, we're back on the hardwood, this time with His Excellency Buddy Buckets. He'll climb the NBA all-time three-pointer list. The Golden State Warrior guard now sits 15th all-time, sinking his 2,144 three-pointer just ahead of Hall of Famer Paul Pierce, who had 2,143. The NBA took to social media to celebrate Heal's milestone, praising the consistency and the longevity that has defined his decade-long career. Congratulations to Buddy Buckets from us here at Eyewitness Sports. Well, that's what's making sports at this hour. I'm Laurencia Smith. Stay tuned for more news on the other side of the break.
Stop, man, stop. But it's hot today, boy. Boy. You see that? Mm-hmm. That's snowing. I can cool off, man.
Where you going? Get back here. Don't go in there.
I can inside
I
there.
can cook whatever you want tonight. Where you going?
You gonna do what?
I can cook whatever tonight.
I forget you can't cook.
Step out the heat and enter Skypole. Expert installation, cool comfort, and reliable service. Brought to you by Discount AC and Supplies. Your one-stop shop for top-tier AC units.
Things may be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a Dave's single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Tings Tough Value Meal today. Now available at all locations excluding the airport and food truck.
Ready to insure your ride? Our new website is ready for you. Visit jsjohnson.com. Select coverages, go to Motor, and click Get a Quote. We've made it easier than ever to request a quote online. Fill in all the required fields. When you're done, hit Submit. You'll receive a response via email within 24 hours. Visit jsjohnson.com today.
The stars of Woodcock Primary School are shining bright. The faculty and students displayed their recent accomplishments during a showcase initiated by the Western New Providence Primary District. Principal Roberta Scott provides an overview.
We've seen a tremendous improvement in our GLAT results. When I came to Woodcock Primary in the year 2020, and as I attended the district meetings, my head hung in shame for the position we were located as it relates to the GLAT result. We were in 12th position. And now I can boast at Woodcock Primary for the GLAT grade 3 and 6, we are in 2nd position. So can anything good come out of Bain and Grantstown? I dare say yes. At the home of the stars, we're shining in academics, we're shining in the cultural, in the arts, the national arts. We have national winners in the Junkanoo, national winners in our brass ensemble, trumpet players. We are doing great things at the home of the stars.
Fostering good character is also a priority at the school, as highlighted by these affirmations. Jonalie McIntosh for Air Talk.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
That wraps up news this Monday, but coming up and beyond the headlines with Shanique Miller, our coverage of the early voting advance poll continues. That's coming up. And beyond the headlines, it starts right after this. That does it for us here at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janae Nawal saying good night and be safe, everyone.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods, taste the difference.
Spice it up with what we got.
So you want a space, but not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go, to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods, taste the difference.
Spice it up with what we got.
So you want a space, but not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Welcome to
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Tonight, Golden Isles one step closer to deciding who will elect or who they will elect to be the new Member of Parliament. Today was the advanced poll. How did it go? We take you inside. Also tonight, fire gutted several restaurant stalls at Arawak Key yesterday. Many feel it's the right time to clean up. Would it become an eyesore on the main West Bay Street? We have the latest for you. Also tonight, a scary scene on the road in the middle of traffic. Two jitneys racing to try and get ahead of one another. We have that video for you. It's all straight ahead tonight. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, it was an eventful advanced poll, music and chants and corner-to-corner support for the 4 candidates vying for the Golden Isles seat. Laurencia Smith was there, and she, of course, watched it all unfold and has this story.
That's the candidate for the Progressive Liberal Party, Darren Pickstock, and the Coalition of Independents leader Lincoln Bain calling out the police for allowing loud campaign music to be blasted by the Free National Movement camp just across the street from the Remnant Tabernacle Church, the site of the advance poll for the Golden Isles upcoming by-election set for November 24th. Both men argued that the loud music disrupt the voting process, accusing authorities of failing to enforce election laws, claiming that the FNM was in clear violation.
Man, we just want to do things in decency and order.
Unacceptable. Eyewitness News reached out to the parliamentary department, who confirmed that by law, campaigners must remain at least 300 feet away from the polling station. However, they added that a meeting was held prior to the polls, where an agreement was reached to allow music due to the close proximity of the site. When the media spoke with the FNM leader Michael Pintard, he appeared unfazed by the PLP and the COI's concerns, dismissing it as a sideshow.
And we always follow law. We're not like the PLP. We're not like the lawless crew of the PLP. We are focused on Brian Brown.
While all of that was taking place, supporters from all sides traded jeers and shouted outside the polling station. Inside the polling site, the atmosphere was notably different according to voters. According to officials, around 283 people registered to vote early. We spoke with several voters shortly after they dipped their finger, and many of them senior citizens and others traveling ahead of the by-election set for November 24th, who shared their thoughts on the process.
About half an hour. So I was very bad.
I was about the 7th person, and the staff is so good.
The single-seat by-election was triggered by the death of Member of Parliament Vaughn Miller, who passed away in September. It's a 4-way race between Pickstock for the PLP, Brian Brown for the FNM, Brian Roll for the COI, and independent candidate Karen Butler.
I am excited for the opportunity to represent the good people of Golden Isles.
No, the people are ready for Mr. Brown, and so I'm excited and they're excited.
It's a must win for us, because at the end of the day, if we don't do this now, when it comes to the general election, if we don't take this country back, this country...
They're tired of switching between these parties back and forth. It's time for them to vote in somebody who's independent, who can speak on their behalf without any fear.
Well, we, of course, will continue to follow this. Meanwhile, though, Laurencia Smith is still at the voting center, and we understand there's some activity happening there. As soon as we get her, we will cut into this broadcast and go to her so she can bring us up to date on what's happening there at the voting center right now. Meanwhile, cleanup and assessments are first on the agenda. This is the Arawak Key fire yesterday. Tonight, the manager of the Potters Key dock, as well as Arawak Key vendors, are in a meeting. And just coming out of that meeting, in fact, he is stepping out of that to speak with Beyond the Headlines. That meeting involves the Minister of Agriculture, Jomo Campbell, and a number of other vendors, business owners, to discuss the way forward. Joining me this evening is Melvin Adderley. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining me on Beyond the Headlines.
Yes, good evening, Shanique.
I know that you just stepped out of this meeting. Can you tell us what's being discussed, please?
Well, it was a high-level meeting, and we discussed today the way forward to revamping our key and getting it back up and running. Like I said, it was a high-level meeting. Now, moving forward, we will go into another set of meeting, which will be led by our Minister, Jomo Campbell, and other ministers and agencies, and that will happen in short order.
Now, let's just talk about some questions. Has cleanup started as yet, or assessments and investigations? It's still too early for cleanup.
The cleanup process has started from last night. Throughout the day, there was a cleanup campaign going on. Hopefully by now and no later than Thursday, Friday, that area should be cleaned up.
Has the cause of the fire been determined as yet?
An investigation is still going on.
Okay, now let's look about maybe just initial estimates. About 6 in total, and there were other damage as well, but about 6 in total restaurants were destroyed by the fire. Any idea of an initial estimate of the damage in terms of dollars?
Based on information received from the president of the Vendors Association, Mr. Rodney Russell, it's in an estimate about $2.6 million, and that's in terms of building, equipments, and assets.
So about $2.6 or so million lost in that fire. In that fire yesterday that destroyed at least 6 of those restaurants there. Now, I'll tell you this, Mr. Adderley, let's just talk about Arawak Key. It started out as a beautiful idea, very authentic and organic to the Bahamas, especially Family Island, a touch of the Family Island on West Bay Street. But it soon became, let's be real, squalid, very nasty. The building codes not being respected and carried out by many of the vendors there or restaurateurs there on the quay. Just a number of violations just being allowed to kind of drag on. When you discuss the way forward, what is going to be the new law and the new guidelines for everyone to abide by when it comes to how the new restaurants are constructed, how they look, how they are not allowed to add on like chicken cup, that's exactly how it looked, like a chicken cup. A lot of the areas there. What is the sort of the focus and the vision moving forward?
We're in discussion, and we're putting a plan together, and along with physical planning and the building control unit of the Ministry of Works, they're going to assist us ensure that building controls, building codes are carried out.
Yes, sir. So you were saying that, number one, there will be a very strict focus on the building code, one, and then obviously the style of the buildings and how it's done moving forward.
Yeah, once they put their plans together, we're going to give them an opportunity to put their plans together. And once their plans is up to standard, up to building codes, they will get approved and they will be able to move forward. But again, like I said, they're going to have to be in the structural codes are going to have to be correct, as long as physical planning, building control unit, they're going to be active in the process.
And meanwhile, of course, the other restaurants that still exist, what's there to kind of improve those? Many of them, as I said, just sort of look like something that's sort of gotten out of control in terms of what the initial vision was. What's in place moving forward, especially now as there's sort of a new refocus on Arawak Key to kind of get those in line?
At that high level meeting today, we looked at some plans. Again, It's still in the premature state. We're going to revert back to that. But there are going to be some changes, and we are sure that we're going to get the support from the vendors out there. Shanique, I must say this. People always look at Arawaki as a shanty town, but I tends to differ with that, because some of those restaurants and eateries out there are in par with places on Cable Beach and Paradise Island. When you go into them, that is the reason why we have the tourist flock, Arawaki, just like the native, for that authentic Bahamian food, and it's a great atmosphere out there.
I agree, and I disagree. But you know what, Mr. Adderley, thank you, sir, for speaking with Beyond the Headlines this evening. Because Mr. Adderley, you know exactly. But I thank you, sir. I thank you very much. Mr. Adderley, we have Laurencia Smith, who is monitoring the advance poll all day. She's been out there since morning, and she has some latest developments for us. So thank you, sir. Of course, we will continue to talk about that. Meanwhile, we'll join Laurencia right now. Good evening, Laurencia.
I can't. I need to find a lot.
This is Laurencia Smith live at.
That's right. That's right, Shanique. We're here live at the Remnant Tabernacle, the site of the advance poll. A few minutes ago, we saw a very chaotic scene where we saw members of both the Coalition of Independence and the Pre-National Movement blocking the entrance as the police vehicle was leaving with the ballot, attempting to lead that caravan to remove those boxes from the advance poll. And I can tell you at one point we saw where the deputy leader, Shannon Cartwright, the leader of the Pre-National Movement, the COI leader, Mr. Lincoln Bain, and even the candidate for the FNM, Mr. Brian Brown, lay across the vehicles. Now, according to party officials from both sides, they're raising concerns about in which the process is being handled. Now, the polls have been closed from 6 o'clock, and it is now after 8, and those boxes are just leaving. And according to party officials from both the COI and the FNM, that the returning officer and parliamentary officials were not following the process in which they promised and which the ballots would be handled. Now, at any moment now, we're expected to hear from the leader of the Free National Movement, and we're hoping to hear from Mr. Bain to get a full view of what their concerns was. But I can tell you a few minutes ago, Shanique, it was very chaotic as I was in the thick of things trying to get the best views and get a bird's eye view of the story. At one point, the crowd just got rowdy. I think I even got dosed with some liquid from supporters as they were getting rallied up. So definitely stay tuned to Eyewitness News social media page for a full recap of everything that has transpired, as we noted that it was utter chaos a few minutes ago outside of the Remnant Tabernacle of Praise. Officers are now coming in as they're trying to keep law and order. Laurencia Smith, back to you at the Destiny.
Laurencia, thank you so much. That's Laurencia live at the Remnant Tabernacle, the site for today's advance poll. Again, saying that at 8:21, well, just before now, but they were attempting to remove or take the ballots, the ballots away from that site to wherever they are being held. I guess the Parliamentary Registrar's Department, and they were being blocked by COI and FNM supporters and leadership apparently, because they were questioning why is it just leaving. Well, we'll talk about that and much more on Beyond the Headlines right after this break.
Mr. Brown is a man. When he said something, he meant it from his heart.
So he's really a great man, a giant of a man.
And he's always been reliable, consistent.
He provided jobs for young people and not too young people.
He never left the office. The office been open from in the morning till night.
He had summer camps, he did back to school.
BJC for the kids.
Easter egg hunt, Mother's Day, prayer breakfast.
Whether you're FNM, PLP, COI, or independent, you came to him and he will always assist you.
If a man can do that outside of the House of Assembly, can you imagine what representation he will bring to the House for Golden Isles?
This time around,
we will begin with BBB, Mr. Brian Brown.
Paid for by the Free National Movement.
Crossing the Sicily Portier Bridge just got easier.
Now you can pay your bridge tolls using debit or credit cards.
No more searching for cash.
Just tap and go. Quick, secure, and easy.
Modern convenience, same trusted service from the Bridge Authority.
When it comes to working at height, there is no room for error. You need certified professionals, reliable systems, proven results. That's where NWC Bahamas comes in. We're the largest fire protection service provider in the Bahamas, trusted by contractors, building managers, and developers from Grand Bahama to Inagua. From high-rise window cleaning and facade maintenance to fire protection system design, training, and certification. Our team of highly trained and internationally certified technicians delivers expert service to the highest international standards. We work faster, safer, and more efficiently with minimal disruption to your operations. Call the team that's certified, insured, and built for heights. Visit nasawindowcleanerslimited.com or call us now at 431-4859. NWC Bahamas. We don't just rise to the challenge, we protect it.
The race to 2026 is heating up, and the nation's voice is louder than ever. Here on Beyond the Headlines, we're checking the mood, the momentum, and the message of the people. I'm Shanique Miller. Each week, we're taking the temperature of the electorate to see what's really driving the nation. Who's connecting? Who's cooling off? What issues are heating up ahead of 2026? This is Temperature Check 2026, where journalism meets the nation's heartbeat.
Beyond the Headlines is now introducing powerful TV advertising opportunities made just for you. Choose our television ad package, 20 30-second ads for $2,000 or 20 60-second ads for $2,500 plus VAT. Prefer flexibility? Go a la carte. Just $150 for a 30-second ad or $200 for a 60-second ad. Step into the spotlight with our interview package. One 15-minute interview for $500 or 4 for $15 per month. Or bring Beyond the Headlines directly to you with our live on location package, only $2,600 plus VAT. For more information, contact our sales agent at 242-466-6173.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you tuned in. Let's just jump right in. My Hot Topics panelists are here, and we're going to jump into what's taking shape and playing out right now at Remnant Tabernacle. That, of course, today was the site of the advance poll. We heard Laurencia Smith just before the break talk about a blockade, really, by FNMs and leadership, as well as supporters, as well as COI leadership and supporters, of preventing the ballot boxes from leaving. Their number one question is, why is it just leaving? And what y'all doing? It's just a whole mess. I wish I could have had Harrison Thompson to initially join me right here at the top of this segment, but we move on, and perhaps we will get him tomorrow. Maybe he'll speak with Laurencia, but we'll continue moving forward. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Garth Rosborough, Howard Johnson, and Michael Turnquest. Good evening, gentlemen, to all of you. I tell you, listen, action-packed is not sufficient enough of two words to describe not just today, but also this evening. Good evening to each of you.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas.
Good evening, Shanique. Good to be here.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, colleagues. Good evening, Bahamas.
Listen, let's jump right in. Garth, I'll start with you since you're right here, and then we'll go to Michael and Howard. Your thoughts on what's happening right now in Golden Isles at Remnant Tabernacle?
Well, even just on waking up this morning and everyone being totally excited of that today is the advance poll day. It's a day that we've all looked forward to. And we wanted to see what the numbers would look like outside the gate at that particular location. And to be frank with you, Shanique Miller, the first thing I actually saw was where there was a brawl first thing in the morning, you wake up, peaceful, birds singing and everything else, sun shining, blue skies, and you're like, hey man, today is the day. And then you see a brawl, you see a fight. And I'm like, okay, what's the issue first thing in the morning? And so I was so quite taken back. I'm like, why does it always have to be chaos? Why does it always have to be an issue? Why does it always have to be a brawl?
What was the brawl?
I am so sick and tired of it. And I understand the brawl was who can go into the gate, how many people should be there, what the procedure should be. The police is not handling it right. They're not doing it right. And there always seems to be some corrective argument.
How the police ain't doing it right when I guess every rule is in place. We're looking at the screen right now. We see people going to vote, but we see leadership of the COI. We see Darren Pickstock of the PLP there. That's about who I can make out. We see, of course, the COI's candidate there, and a few other people. So what is it that you were hearing?
I'm just hearing that the police officers didn't understand what the rules and the laws were pertaining to election practices.
The police didn't understand? So you're saying the Parliamentary Registrar Department didn't do its job?
He was saying they didn't inform the police as to what to do. And I'm like, why can't people just simply understand, Shanique Miller?
God, you can't say what people were saying, man, on social media. You've got to really get it right.
Don't tell me what to say then,
No, because
I just woke up this morning and I saw this foolishness.
Yeah, but you see, you've got to know for sure, because I find it hard. One thing the police know is how to follow instructions.
I agree.
I'm sure they rehearse this. Michael and Howard, jump in, please, because we have to quickly get through. Go ahead, Michael.
I see what he's saying. It is. I watched a live earlier this morning where there was a big bust up or confusion over, in terms of who can enter the gate, who was allowed to be inside. And, based on past elections, there are always 3 persons that are allowed inside the actual voter, where you go in and you cast your ballot. But there's also allowed, there should be, I think it's 3 persons allowed on the outside of the area that where you go to cast your ballot in terms of how you swap people out. But they
so you're saying that's in the fence, inside the fence.
Inside of the fence, where persons can, whether they take a break, one replace them, but they are allowed inside the confines of the fence.
And so the police was stopping that, as far as you saw?
Yes, the police was stopping. What I understood that, and what I saw, the police was stopping the FNM and the COI from having 3 other representatives inside the gate of the election today, which seemed to cause a lot of confusion. And I think eventually it got cleared up, and they were allowed in once they had their letters stating that they are a representative or whatever of whichever party. Because I think it was the FNM at one point was saying that the PLP had 3 representatives walking around inside of the gates, and then they also complained about the music that was playing too close to the to the building.
Yes.
Howard.
Yeah, Shanique, this is just an example of silly season within silly season. We're 9 months, 10, almost 9 months from an election, and then there's a by-election going on in the middle of all of that. So you see emotions are heightened. You see people are doing some off-the-wall things and behaving erratically, and it is simply because we have silly season within a silly season. And that's not an excuse, but that's exactly what is going on. I saw some of the chaos today from social media. I saw the exchange between Lincoln Bain and the police officer, and it seemed as if the police officer said that an agent letter looked fraudulent. Something looked fraudulent about the agent letter, and then I saw Mr. Bain get into a frenzy. I don't know why these things are happening because, well, we don't have elections frequently. It's every 5 years, and we've had a few by-elections. That's outside of the norm. But these people are always trained. I don't understand why we are having this sort of chaos when people are supposed to be trained by the parliamentary office. The police officers should know what they're supposed to do. I can't understand why this is happening.
Howard, I agree. And quite frankly now, it makes me want to say, Harrison Thompson, come sit next to me. Here's why. those officers were trained. I'm sure they had run mock-ups and everything. Here's what's happening right now live out there at Remnant Tabernacle. This is where the advanced polling took place today. We see Brian Brown, the Free National Movement's candidate, in the front of the screen at the forefront. We see a crowd there, it seems, of really F&M supporters, and that's who I can make out right now. But this is live happening now outside the Remnant Tabernacle, where votes were cast today. Now, the polling station closed at that right there at Remnant Tabernacle at 6 this evening. At 6 this evening, it's now 8:32.
Wow. There's
8:32.
And there's still constant chaos, continuing at the same location, all due to the
There's
fact
Deputy Leader
that
Shannon Dawn. Now, there's Shannon Dawn Cartwright. People, listen again. They are blocking and preventing what's happening now. Well, they are blocking and preventing I guess the Parliamentary Registrar Department now from leaving the Remnant Tabernacle, the site of the advanced polling. As we said before, this stuff is not new. Harrison Thompson is not new to this position. Harrison Thompson would have taken, in fact, for several weeks now, he's been preparing for this and, of course, the eventual general election. I do not believe, now someone mentioned, one of you all mentioned the fact that they were trying to verify the authenticity of letters, meaning the persons they were the right people and the qualified persons to be in the gate of where the voting took place. Now, maybe the police officers took too long scrutinizing those letters and ensuring those letters were authentic, and that those people had right and the letters were real. But the point is, what's happening there? I wish Laurencia Smith could come back in and join us and maybe get even a comment, a live comment from the Parliamentary Registrar.
Shanique, I just want to state something quickly. Those letters are provided by the actual party themselves. Those letters come from whether it be the COI leadership or the F&M leadership. They're not letters that come from the Parliamentary Registrar. So they don't need to carry those letters back and have them verified by Parliamentary. Lincoln Bain was there himself. He verified that this is my people. I need them on the inside. So there should be no argument there as it relates to, is this a fraudulent letter or not?
And that is why I am saying, what were the police told? What was this training and this run-through?
And Shanique, and then you have to remain calm. So Darren Pickstock was calm. Mr. Pintard was calm. And Lincoln always gets a bad rap because of his behavior sometimes. Now, I saw the police put their hands on Lincoln, and if anything untoward had happened, not only to Lincoln, but to anyone, I hope those officers will be disciplined. But I know that the majority of those officers conduct themselves in a diligent manner and do what they're supposed to. But I just want Lincoln to know, see, whenever you create chaos, whenever you are known for creating chaos and anarchy, when you move around and when you're at places like this, then the reputation follows you. Activism is not activism when it turns into anarchy. And when you get the reputation and the label for creating chaos and anarchy, then you do not get the benefit of the doubt. So my brother, I hope this is a lesson.
Anybody else want to jump in?
I've been watching the lives in terms of what's happening currently down there, right? And I've heard, some from the F&M, the COI, in terms of what is taking place and what's now causing the chaos that's leading up to what we have going on in this current situation. And I've said before, my faith right now in the parliamentary secretary who is in his sitting position, because we've seen what the Family Island elections were. Maybe a year ago, I can't remember exactly.
But that wasn't him, Michael. That was not him. This is a different person entirely. And until we know the full story, do not sort of, I guess, jump to conclusions on what you think you're seeing on an unofficial. If it's a news live stream you're seeing, then fine. But the thing is, sometimes I can paint whatever I want to paint. Harrison Thompson is an experienced senior civil servant, and until we have need to actually attack what he's doing and call into question, let us just wait and see exactly what went on. Did he inform these officers? Were the officers given? Were names supposed to be supplied ahead in advance so they would know? Or did they take it upon themselves to say, no, the 3 PLPs, y'all could just go walk right by me. The F&M and the COI, I need to see y'all. I need to see and then scrutinize your letters. Let's just see exactly what took place and come back and really discuss that.
Here's what you have here today, I should say. You have a progressive Liberal Party candidate who's just arrived into the Golden Isles area, and the progressive Liberal Party is now doing all of these wonderful works, as it were. You have a Brian Brown for the FNM who has always been there, as has been said, and the FNM party itself in full force is just showing up. And so the strength of the party now is now questioned. But you have a COI who the candidate has not been seen. The COI has not done anything in the Golden Isles constituency in terms of any project. Back to school, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Independence Day. They didn't even participate in the Labor Day parade, Shanique Miller. But yet you come to this particular venue today and you bring chaos as if you did something throughout the entire year. And as if you should be, I should say, given the merit as to be someone who's taking politics seriously. What this is simply is an attention situation. I don't like it. I think it's corny. I don't think it's necessary. And if anyone should have started small today, it should have been the COI. Now, everyone else, you could stand up for the work that you've been doing, but this is no time for silliness. And as Howard Johnson said, silly season is too silly for me this time. I think we need to mature up a little bit.
No, it is quite silly.
And Shanique, I just want to say this last thing. A couple of weeks ago, I spent almost a week in the Republic of Barbados. And as I traversed that place and as I went to meetings and as I met people, and I indicated that I was from the Bahamas, there was this, this sense of awe about that, right? So it's like we have that reputation as being the leader in CARICOM, the leader in the region, in the Caribbean, right? And when things like this happen, Jamaica just had an election recently. Trinidad had an election recently. And it was not this level of chaos. It was not this level of acrimony. And things like this, when they happen, are going to erode that awe and that position that we're supposed to have as the quote unquote United States of the Caribbean. Our leadership role is going to diminish when we continue to devolve into chaos and anarchy when it comes to things like elections.
Well, speaking of such, desperate and reckless, that is how government officials are describing claims made by opposition leader Michael Pintard, who at a rally last week charged that a bag of passports was found on a Bahamas Air flight. Tonight, the Minister of National Security is also speaking out on the leader of the opposition statement. We get the story from Delano Roca, and then we come back and talk about it. Yes, Justin? Tell me what to do. Guys, let me know what to do. I hear you trying to speak. Tell me. Go where?
Lucky.
To a break or the story?
Defense force.
Okay, so should we go to D'Angelo? Should I go to a break or you have the story?
The Bahamas is the premier destination for fly fishing because of its unique geography.
We've got the third largest barrier reef in the world in the Bahamas.
We have the largest aggregation of mangroves in the Western Hemisphere.
Which simply means we've got the largest marine biodiversity than anywhere else in the world.
I am unapologetic about Bahamians being owners in our #1 industry.
We should not just say it, we should have it enacted into certain policies.
The Bahamas Fly Fishing Industry Association was instrumental in the 2017 sports fishing legislation. Anyone fishing in the Bahamas who's going to be guiding has to be certified and licensed, and thirdly, they have to be a Bahamian.
And that is historic in that a model of conservation and a model for Bahamianization has been legislated, the only one in the country.
But it also gives Bahamians the opportunity with a sense of pride to know that at the end of the day, I'm contributing to the development of my country and something they can pass on for generations.
The out island of Bahamas, there are no other alternative industry that generates the kind of revenue that fly fishing does. The entire community benefits.
I would always encourage the tourists, people who want to fish, hire a local guide.
The guides in the Bahamas are some of the best trained fly fishing guides in the world. You know it because you see the results in terms of the kinds of fishing they're doing. They're catching the largest bonefish, the largest tarpon, largest permit. That is unique. So this is the lure to all the anglers internationally coming who thinks of the Bahamas as #1 destination for fly fishing in saltwater.
I'm really excited about this initiative that SPTC has brought forth for the fishermen.
If you have great guides and terrible boats and engines and nothing working and all this, you could be the best in the world. And people still have a terrible experience because they could not have a good day on the water.
I think one of the greatest things is to have access to quality capital, but not only having access to the capital, but terms and conditions to that capital, so we encourage growth and expansion of the industry and professionalism within the industry because of the resources being at hand and having proper guidance.
It'll be a greater impact and they'll have a better experience.
And I foresee it being an opportunity that the guys are taking advantage of in terms of the opportunities for education, awareness, and resources. You always need to advise people, inform them, and then equip them. And so I think this process is essential because it allows those skill sets that are needed in a changing economy and environment, how they could then keep up with operating their small business.
Beyond the Headlines is now introducing powerful TV advertising opportunities made just for you. Choose our television ad package, 20 30-second ads for $2,000 or 20 60-second ads for $2,500 plus VAT. Prefer flexibility? Go a la carte. Just $150 for a 30-second ad or $200 for a 60-second ad. Step into the spotlight with our interview package. 1 15-minute interview for $500 or 4 for $15 per month. Or bring Beyond the Headlines directly to you with our live on location package, only $2,600 plus VAT. For more information, contact our sales agent at 242-466-6173.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. If you're just joining us, of course, taking place right now, the polls closed at 6 this evening. However, the Parliamentary Registrar Department is apparently just now moving those ballot boxes away from the polling center and taking them to the Parliamentary Registrar's Department. However, they are being prevented from doing so because the Free National Movement and its leadership and the Coalition of Independence and its leadership are blocking and have created sort of a human chain to block them from getting out of the fenced-in area. Now, the issue, and I'm going to come to the story in a minute before that I read the lead before the break. The issue, according to Laurencia Smith, who joined me a short while ago, is that both parties are saying, wait a minute, hold up, why are these boxes just leaving? What's really going on? What y'all up to? What's happening? And so, well, fine, we would all love to know what's happening. Were they taking their time to ensure security on the rest of it? Yeah, we want to know what's going on. And I have said, in the last, Michael Turnquest mentioned the last Family Island local government election that was botched in some islands in terms of not opening on time, many of the polling stations. But I want to say, Until we know different, let's not go and put that on Harrison Thompson, who is a senior, well-experienced senior civil servant. I want to hear from him. Sir, did you tell these officers properly what to do and how to help manage this entire day? Or did you drop the ball? Who dropped it? The police force? Let's just talk about that. So we want real answers, but we want it to be done responsibly, and we want it to be done in an official way. To get it first to you, of course, but responsibly. As a seasoned journalist as I am, I want to wait until we hear Laurencia Smith, a news reporter, or Harrison Thompson himself talk about what took place today and why the boxers are just leaving. Or is that even suspicious at all? What's the practice? And so we certainly will be waiting on that. And believe me, we will get to it, and no kind of holds barred. We will absolutely present what we discover to you. Meanwhile, as I said before the break, officials are still talking about a comment made by opposition leader Michael Pintard last Thursday at an F&M rally in the Golden Isles constituency, that a bag of passports was found on a Bahamas Air aircraft. Minister Pintard said that several Bahamas Air employees were fired because I guess they were about to threat to speak out, and so a lot's going on there. We'll take a look at this story and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Tonight, Minister of National Security Wayne Munro firing back at Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard following accusations and allegations that Bahamian passports were on board a Bahamas Air aircraft bound for a southern destination. A rebuttal supported by the Office of the Prime Minister, which states that all relevant authorities have all confirmed that no such incident occurred, there is no report, there is no investigation, and that no staff member was dismissed. Munro stating, to date, the opposition leader has yet to provide evidence to support those claims.
Airline says no such event happened. If the passport office says no such event happens, if the Royal Bahamas Police Force says no such event was reported to them for investigation, that person who allegedly have sense should have sense enough to retract those comments. The very sad thing about the leader of the opposition who says he wants to be prime minister, if he has this evidence, he has not managed to come forward with it to anybody.
Munro went further, accusing Pintard of attempting to cling to relevance by manufacturing controversy rather than presenting verifiable facts, outrightly questioning his leadership credibility.
And so if it is phantom, if he was misled, it shows that he is easily misled and not somebody who should be trusted to run a school, much less a country. I put his behavior down to the fact that he is battling to remain relevant and battling to remain the official opposition in this country, because he can't seriously be trying to be government.
Joining the chorus of pushback, leader of the Coalition of Independents, Lincoln Bain, also dismissed the F&M leader's statements.
While we know that passports are being given out erratically, while there were findings like that, but that specific incident never happened. And as the leader of Her Majesty's loyal opposition, I think it was shameful for him to give out information that was false.
But despite mounting criticism, the F&M is not retreating.
We didn't hear the many persons. We heard the Office of the Prime Minister offer a denial, and we are asking each of those departments that we mentioned, let all of them come on the record and say they know absolutely nothing about it. That would give us an opportunity over the course of the next few weeks to lay out the case. We have spoken to persons who work at agencies, on several of those agencies, so we are confident that what we have put forth is in fact the case.
Pintard insisting that more evidence is forthcoming and that once revealed, it will expose what he describes as widespread corruption within the system.
Over the next few weeks, we'll be rolling out a whole series of evidence relative to the fact that our system is rife, unfortunately, with corruption under this administration, and it has to end.
For now, the country is left with competing narratives, one side demanding proof and the other promising it. Delano Roker, Eyewitness News.
Well, there you have it. Opposition leader Michael Pintard standing tall. That's right. Today, right back on that from last Thursday, say over the next several weeks, him and the Free National Movement will be rolling out evidence to show the corruption. Now, the corruption where? Because those workers that were fired by this here PLP for doing their job and trying to bring attention to something that was illegal and nefarious by this government, they each got $1 million, eh? Because how come they're not speaking? I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. Why are they so silent? And Garth, Mr. Pintard is insisting and holding the line on this matter that he said took place on a Bahamas Air aircraft. Now, we don't know the date, the time, the airplane number, the flight number. We don't know any of that. We don't know how many staff was let go. We don't know how many passports. We don't know none of those things. But we know that he says he has evidence that's going to be, for several weeks, he's going to roll this evidence out. Your thoughts?
I'm looking at the whole rollout of the Free National Movement in terms of their way of doing things. It's similar to that now of the Coalition of Independence. They almost seem to be twins. For Mr. Pintard to say this, Shanique Miller, what I'm seeing here is Mr. Pintard is attempting to win the love and loyalty of the Free National Movement in its entirety, as well as the swing voters, in order to prepare himself for the 2026 general election. All of this is just a mad attempt. It's almost crazy, but this is his effort. And I do hope, Shanique Miller, that he does have some proof, because this in of itself will discredit him so greatly that he may just have to step away from Bahamian politics and save himself some future embarrassment. This doesn't look good, Shanique Miller. It's not good for a royal opposition leader. And look at how the same person he's holding hands with tonight by the church is now the same person in Lincoln Bay and saying, hey, buddy, you're wrong on this one. You're doing wrong on that one. I wouldn't do that if I were you. So, Mr. Pintard, you got to be careful, man. You're getting set up. You're getting set up.
You know, I'm waiting for the proof, Garth. I believe he has to have proof. He would not come back with this again. Now, why it's going to take several weeks to roll out this proof?
That's the
then,
question.
sir, you need to be questioned.
Yeah.
Because you know where you have proof. Michael and Howard jump in of proof of something like on this level being committed, of this level of fraud, and you're going to wait for several weeks to roll it out. Go ahead, Michael and Howard.
You know, we have seen over the years, you know, we've seen multiple occasions where we say to ourselves, there's either some corruption going on, whether it be immigration or in the passport office, because due to the fact that we see so many people walking around holding, whether it be passports, can't speak a bit of English.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm hoping that he says he has evidence, and if he does, you know, those persons who, whether they shared the information from it, you know, internally, that they have the cojones to come forward and speak out on it. Because, you know, I think a lot of persons, you know, we spoke about the nurse the other day who spoke and said information that was leaked about the PHA and what's going on, and she was let go. You know, so, you know, at the end of the day, people got to pay. People have the bills to pay. You know, but
no. That wasn't information leaked. No, sir. She came out and talked pure truth about how Princess Margaret Hospital looks. Nothing, no lies were told there. She was just out of line for doing so. Speak through your union, all the rest of that. No, that woman was very right. Mom, you are right tonight on this Monday.
But what I like with...
Go ahead, God. Michael, 1 second. Go ahead,
Michael,
God.
what I like what Shanique did tonight, she asked a very important question. Why are you waiting so long in order to bring us the proof? Something of this magnitude will actually make a huge difference even in this
by-election. Listen to me.
So
the FNM tonight, the FNM didn't have to be out there. Had Mr. Pintard produced that proof last week or even over the weekend, yesterday for headlines today. Here's why. The people would say, oh, well, monkey. So it was true.
Yes.
Look at the passports. Whoa.
That changes
Brave
the whole
Davis
game.
and the PLP.
Yeah.
Y'all really think this a game? Let's go and get y'all out of here. That is very simple. Now, wait a minute. And listen, the passport officer was here. In fact, I hope to have him back, and I hope to also revisit this tomorrow night, because there is fraud. Listen, identity fraud is the thing. Whether it's us selling our passports and our different documents, that is what's going on. And every time it's spotted on various tiers, you heard the chief passport officer here. The people are brought before. First it's given to the police, and then it goes from there. So fraud ain't just synonymous to the Bahamas or the Bahamian passport. But the thing is, this bag of passports on its way to Haiti to bring more Haitians to the Bahamas, show up, put it up there. Go ahead, Howard.
I didn't like this at all, Shanique. And you know, I know Michael Pintard better than anyone on this panel. And I was really, really, really surprised at him using this information, because I know him to be someone in the past. I know him to be someone who likes to have his facts and his information correct. But I'll say this: if anybody saw you on a Bahamas Air flight going down south, like Mr. Pintard said, right? Nobody with a cell phone in 2025 recorded this. Nobody recorded this with a cell phone. There's something problematic about this, but I'll do this. Mr. Pintard said the flight was heading down south. Vague. Like you mentioned, Shanique, no flight number, no nothing, Bahamas Air, this or that, nothing like that. I see nothing about this on Mr. Pintard's social media, the bombshell that he dropped on Thursday night. I see nothing about it on the F&M's social media or website. And this is supposed to be a big bombshell that was dropped. We have to stop playing games in this country. Mr. Pintard is the leader of the opposition and the leader of one of the major political parties. You cannot traffic in salacious rumors and innuendo at that level with that position without having the evidence. We don't need to see the evidence in a couple of weeks. You said this on Thursday, sir. The evidence should have been presented when you said this. You are a heartbeat away from the highest office in the land. 9 months from now, Mr. Pintard, if the Bahamian people see fit, you will be sitting in the chair as the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. If you erode our national security, and if you say things that undermines the organs and systems of government that you are going to be in charge of in 9 months if you are the Prime Minister, how do we come back from that, sir? How do we come back from that? So we have to be very careful with when we attempt to just score cheap political points. But at the same time, what we are doing is eroding our status and eroding our position in the eyes of the international community. So let us please be better and let us do better.
I'll tell you, this political season, we need to do, as you said, we really are sort of at the forefront in the Caribbean region. And not that every other nation isn't just as special. We're just talking, though, of where we're positioned, both geographically and where we stand in CARICOM. Let's do it maturely, man. We're 52 years old. We have a general election to get through and done, and then to respect the people's decision, but not to go and create mayhem in the process. Not to go and in sort of, I guess, engineer would it just be so well?
Shanique, one more thing. See, we have to stop the political hypocrisy. And those PLPs who are cheering on what I say, I want them to understand too, and COIs. Because if the PLP becomes the opposition again at some point in the future, I want them to have the same moral high ground that they have and the outrage that they have at Mr. Pintard for what he said without evidence tonight.
Yes.
Because I know people like Fred like to slap up like this when they're in opposition too. But here's my bigger point, Shanique. I remember 13 years ago when I ran on the F&M's ticket. I was the candidate for Central and Saudi Lutra. Michael Pintard was the candidate in Cat Island, Rum Cay, and Salvador against this very same Prime Minister. When this Prime Minister, who was then deputy leader of the PLP, came out with those billboards with the murder count, we hammered him. All of us hammered him because it was reckless.
The nation did.
It eroded to us.
Yes.
It eroded our national security. It compromised those organs of government and systems that I was talking about, and we hammered him for that, and rightly so. Now, and F&Ms who are now upset, who are cheering Mr. Pintard on, were upset then with these murder numbers being shown. Now, the difference between Mr. Davis then and Mr. Pintard now was two things. Number one, Mr. Davis was only the deputy leader of the PLP, and those murder numbers, despite the fact that we didn't like them, they were accurate. That information about the murders were accurate, and that's why we were upset. Mr. Pintard is not the deputy, he is the leader and leader of the opposition, wanting to be Prime Minister, but the information that he gave is inaccurate and it is not true. So we have to be responsible, man. We have to stop this political hypocrisy across the board in this country.
Across the board, Howard, and you're absolutely right, because if it were the COI to become government, or even opposition, we don't want to see this behavior from nobody. If it were the PLP to become opposition or be re-elected, this type of behavior, the rhetoric that was said and continues to be repeated, is destructive to all of us. It puts all of us under a huge, glaring, hot spotlight.
You know, Shanique, the short and long of it is, you know, if the evidence that he states that he has is not, if it doesn't come sooner rather than later, it's going to come back to bite him in the. You know,
as we look at this whole entire situation, Shanique Miller and gentlemen, those listening tonight, what we are witnessing here at this particular time is a very sad time in Bahamian politics. The dignity of voting seems to be eroding. I like the whole idea that when I hold a voter's card, I have my passport, I have my ID, I can hold that up with pride. I recall the days when going off overseas. And people say, where are you from? I am from the Bahamas. With social media, with mainstream media having these types of stories, it's extremely difficult at times to sometimes hold your head up high. I want to see truthfulness, Shanique Miller.
Yes, that's
what we're now having is we want people who want to utilize any form of misinformation in order to gain brownie points. But how can we trust anybody who doesn't bring us the truth? You speak about the Want for Freedom of Information Act. How can I expect freedom of information from you when you are a doggone liar? Huh? When there's no truth in you? When you want to go ahead and cause chaos and mayhem? Who wants you to represent us to United Nations like that? Go to New York and turn the whole place upside down. Go to Geneva Convention, turn it upside down. Go to CARICOM and turn it upside down. Everywhere you go, turn it upside down. I recall that the Bahamas is a peaceful place, a tranquil nation. People who are dignified, and just like you, Shanique Miller, you're royal. That's what I know the Bahamas to be.
Upstanding people, man. Let's just get back to that. And this, as we move forward in this election season, let's maintain that. Certainly, of course, we await. I'll tell you that. We await what the leader of the opposition has to say. He say over the next several weeks. Sir, don't hold on to no information you have. Because tonight you could have been victorious. Right from tonight, even though this is just the advance poll, straight into next Monday, straight into the general election with that information that you have.
Bring it here.
Man, show your hand. Show your hand, because that will send the PLP running for cover, quite frankly. Other than that, do not go and burn the whole house down with just trying to burn the trash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But listen, gentlemen, we had a lot to get to. I wanted to show you all this jitney, and I don't know if we have a minute, then guys, let's go for it.
The jitney?
If we have a minute. I need to lighten up the mood.
Okay, show us the jitney.
If we have it. But
I don't know if that's going to light it up any.
Look at this, guys. Just look at it here. What is this road? I think. Look at that. Look at it.
Look here.
Mm-hmm.
That's by Old Trail Cemetery.
Yeah. You know, that right there. I wonder, Michael, can you hear me? Because this is
I can hear you.
Were people in the bus?
Shanique, nobody knows.
Because the window's black. What's going on in road? Listen to me, y'all. See,
the issue is that's on the old cemetery road by Nassau Christian Academy. In a school,
a school zone. Look at that.
Look here.
Look. It's like some kind of video game you're watching. Gentlemen, quickly jump in on what you're watching, please.
Shanique, I've always said, and I've said it on numerous times on this show, these guys need to be dealt with. That whoever holds that franchise, if these are the type of people that you continue to employ, you need either your franchise need to be pulled, because that type of reckless behavior on our road, especially around a school, and if passengers were on that bus, we have a serious problem with this jitney community.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, those gentlemen should be deep in jail tonight, because if you were doing this in the United States of America, you will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Now, I know Mike asked if someone was driving. Well, I don't know Elon Musk to have brought autonomous driving to the Bahamas as yet. So I know humans are driving these buses. But what I'm saying is, put these same two individuals in their nice rental car from Avis, over in
Never.
Fort Lauderdale in Miami,
Never.
would they be driving recklessly like this
The
on
answer,
the roads in the
the
United
answer is
States?
never. That's what the answer
Okay.
is.
Okay.
Go ahead,
I
Garth.
rest my case.
But the problem is the employer, the person that employed him.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if they sit down and have meetings. Hey, I need you to go out and do whatever you got to go do to get that $1.50. If you got to run over somebody, but you need to get their voice. There has to be some authority which goes and not just the person driving the bus, the franchise, whatever that name of that franchise that has Route 21, or if they have multiple buses, they need to be either suspended or all their buses taken, because we can't continue to have this. Not until somebody we run over somebody, or there's a major crash and
God forbid.
People, it's ridiculous.
Yes, God forbid. Garth?
I'm just terrified just watching that. That brings back flashbacks, Howard Johnson, to when I went to school in Jamaica, going around those gullies. I'm sitting here petrified, man. But you know what's amazing too? Our roads are not in the best conditions, and even though they're being paved at this particular time, anything can cause a blowout. Anything can cause one of those drivers to be distracted just temporarily and just bring tragedy to the scene. This here, I don't know if I could stomach this. I definitely would just take their license away.
You see the oncoming traffic had to pull over to the side.
Yeah, I'll take their licenses away.
Had to pull over to the side because
I see this foolishness on a weekly basis. Whether it be on Robinson Road, Soldier Road, this is
insanity. That's what this is, insanity.
Look at that. Look at this person just narrowly missed the utility pole.
Yeah.
Just narrowly.
I don't like it.
All for doing foolishness to try to get in front of the next one. I mean, it gotta be like, this ain't a real town. It gotta be a real joke happening here.
And that's done for less than $6, Shanique. It can't be more than $6 for 2-3 passengers. And so this is what we expect from our bus drivers. That's horrendous.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, but I would hope that the police would take this video and go and find those culprits and make sure they are prosecuted. And I would also ask that the authority that governs the bus these bus franchises, they go and take a serious look at that individual who owns that franchise and sit down and have a real conversation with them. Because we can't allow this to carry on. We have to set some examples out of certain people and put things in place in order to make things happen.
Mr. Harrison Moxie, Mr. Harrison Moxie, paging Harrison Moxie. That's who you're talking about, Michael. And we certainly leave a space open for you to come and address just that right there with what was done. I thank you, gentlemen, so much. Howard Johnson, Michael Turnquest, and of course, right here with me, Garth Rosborough. At the top of tonight's show, we had the manager of the Potterski and Arawaki sites, Melvin Adderley, join me. And of course, thank you to Laurencia Smith, who joined us twice live to talk about what's taking place. And we hope it's done. And those ballot boxes are where they should be. But again, Harrison Thompson.
That's right.
I want you tomorrow night,
right
here.
On the
Tell the Bahamian people exactly what happened today.
That's right.
This is Beyond the Headlines. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I certainly enjoyed having you along and look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, all them in the back there, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.